What's up, Tank Nerds? Lottie here again. Okay, let's get into it. So, last video, I got a tremendous number of comments. In fact, the most comments I've ever received in the shortest amount of time at the same time, if that makes sense. So, for those who have forgotten what the last video was about, it was about engineering, specifically why the British who designed the Ferret armoured car are incapable of using turnbuckles. Now, I'm going to address the comments in this video. Not all the way through though, because we are actually going to be talking about some fun stuff. Specifically why that Ferret is now running. So you get to see it running in this video, but at the end, you're going to have to wait for that. You're going to have to put up with my ranting. And then you get to see that. You're also going to see past Lottie show how to remove seals for your drive shafts. So there is some informativeness on this video. Alright, let's start from the very start. How does the brake system work? It is a drum brake system. I'm just conscious because there's people walking around and making lots of noise. Drum brake system. Let's go and have a look at it right now. I was just sitting there, so we're going to actually walk around over here. Hopefully that's going to be a bit quieter. Okay, here is our brake system. Obviously, we need to fix this one. This one's on mine, but that is beside the point. We have two bits to worry about. We have this, and we have this. Okay? A normal brake system, drum brake system, works on hydraulics. As you press your foot down on the pedal, hydraulic fluid comes out of here and into here. Pretty simple. As the hydraulic comes in, it is forced out this way, thus pushing this rod up and this rod down. That increases the gap here, which pushes the brake pads out onto the drum. Pretty straightforward. Now, in order to adjust this, because you can't adjust it from that side, you need to adjust it from this side. So by turning these, which you can access from the outside, it extends this side manually. So you rotate this and this comes out. Likewise on this one, that's why there's two here. This one controls that one controls this one. That pushes out, thereby giving you control before you put your foot on the brake as to how much this comes in and out. This is to help with the wearing of brake pads. So if your brakes are fading, you can adjust them so that they come on a little bit better. Now, the only difference between a normal brake system and a Ferret brake system, I'm sure there's other vehicles that do it too, is that the handbrake is directly connected to the standard brake pads, i.e. this does the same job as this. This is our brake cable linkage, by the way. So there's a wire that runs in through here. This is just the outer sheath. Very simple stuff. In fact, they plug into the exact same unit at the back here. Pretty easy to wrap your head around. Fluid comes in here, these open out. Cable gets pulled out there, these come out. Does the exact same thing. The adjustment cannot be made here. This does two things. It goes out and it goes in. The adjustment is made on the other side, which doesn't adjust anything in here, and it doesn't adjust anything in here. All the adjustment and fluid and all that for the hydraulic side needs to be done on the brake master. All the adjustment on the linkage actually needs to be done directly on the linkage, or whatever actually pulls the linkage out, which is inside. We're gonna go look at that right now. Peter's here. So that handle in the middle, that handle in the middle is our brake, our handbrake. So it's on a ratchet. As you pull it up towards you, it pulls that little bit, right? I'm just gonna poke it with this. If I can do it. That bit right there. That goes in, i.e. this rod will go towards the front of the vehicle. There is a thread on the end of this rod here. Oh, little spider, jumping spider. Boing, look at him go. Let's not get distracted. Stay focused, Lottie. Okay, so we have thread here. It's pretty straightforward. If I screw this in, it's going to screw into that little linkage over there. Super duper groovy. We're all happy. Everyone's happy. No one's crying. There it is. Goes in there like so. There we go. I just did it right there. So now this is connected to the handbrake. When I pull the handbrake on, this will pull that way. Really, really simple. Now, here is one of the sheaths for the handbrake. This cable goes to the brakes. This sheath. Inside is the cable. That's what this little bit here is, okay? Now, there's our thread. So we've got two bits of adjustment. One there and one there. Except we need to connect them with this rod, which is clearly too short. So we need to join them together. Wow, it seems so smart. Except, alright, I need to attach this one. I screw it in. It is now on. Now I need to actually screw it onto this one. Admittedly, I have cut this. Because I'm actually getting rid of this because I want to put left-hand threads on it. Also, someone was saying that left-hand threads didn't exist at this time. That's nonsense. They've been using left-hand threads for ages. In fact, if you look at a lot of American wheels, half of the studs on that are left-hand thread. Anyway, so in order to connect these two, I now need to wind this backwards. So I am taking the thread out on that side to thread it on this side. That is fine. That is a perfectly acceptable way of joining them, except we have not gained any distance. All we've done is connected. Okay, apparently I got a little worked up, so worked up that my phone stopped working. So it detected angry Lottie. But we're not done yet. Back, wait. Okay, yes. So by unscrewing this, I can interface it with there. Now we've got two items that rotate. This rod and this joiner, which is in a turnbuckle. One thing this allows us to do, I need to screw this all the way in. And then I can unscrew just the joiner so it interfaces with that. That is literally the only adjustment we have in a relatively short amount of time without disconnecting the whole thing and screwing it in there. How much is this distance? How much do I need to turn this in before I turn it back out? We don't know. And you won't know until you've actually preloaded this cable so it's out enough so you can back it off. This is all part of the brake adjustment system, and it is stupid, it is silly. This should be a turnbuckle, and I will die on that hill. I think I have raged enough. You ain't get happy, Lottie, again. So, yes, that is why I disagree with the entire system. I have not yet found a smart person reason as to why that turnbuckle shouldn't just be a left-hand thread. The technology was there. They've been using left-hand threads for ages. Like I said, T-34, which was built before this, used them. They used turnbuckles, not just left-hand threads. The Americans have been using left-hand threads on their tires for God knows how long. it's not a new concept. So why this is done the way it is, I really just want someone to answer that for me. The most common answer that I get is it was cheaper. That's all I can really find. So the people actually adjusting this, which is probably why most handbrakes on Ferrets don't work. They're not adjusted correctly. The brakes might be adjusted, but the brakes and the linkages are separate. You cannot adjust one to adjust the other. They are separate. You adjust the brakes and then you adjust the linkages. It's pretty simple. So yeah, Angry Lottie, go team. I've been having lots of fun. Where's my knee? Getting hurt working on all these vehicles, but it's fun. So future Lottie is going to take over. She is going to explain how to take the, where are we? Oh, I'm sitting on it. You look at this one here. How to remove the seals on your drive shafts, both on the gearbox side and the angle drive side, because they're exactly the same. So if that is something you want to learn, stay tuned. Also, at the very, very, very end of that, I'm going to show the Ferret, that one, going for a drive. So yeah, everything is going really good. So if you can't be good, be careful, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Ooh, okay, so inside the Ferret, really grubby hands, I'm taking the seals out for the drive shafts. So I'll show you how that all goes, because there's 4 of them. Quick recap. So this is the gearbox, and this is the transfer case in the middle. So there's a dog clutch that goes in here. That's your forward and reverse lever, and it comes out the output shaft. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now behind each of these, so obviously there's a bearing in there, but right behind that is an oil seal, and you've got 4 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Obviously. So what you need to do is first take the split pin out on the front, light on, take that split pin out. I've already redone this one. Take the split pin out, take that nut off. There's a washer behind it. When we put it back, we just put a little bit of Celastic over that one. Just keeps everything nice and sealed. But it's obviously not an oil seal, but it does help. And then these are the bolts that actually connected to the drive shaft, which I'm laying on now. Once you take that one off, this flange actually just knocks straight out, which I will show you in a second on the other one. And you undo these bolts, and where that the red sealant is there, that comes off, and you just replace that seal there. So I'm sort of halfway through doing this difficult one here. So what I've done is I've taken the split pin out, and I have now removed the, I am now removing the nut here, which hopefully I can do with just one hand. It can be difficult doing these ones because it does obviously spin because we are not connected. So you can see the differential movement in there. So taking this one off, I got a bit of a tight spot there. Okay, I'm gonna need my socket again. Trying to do this one-handed is difficult. There we go. Loosen it up. Take it off. Put it somewhere safe, which I normally put them here because they can't go anywhere. Get my little hammer. And you can just tap it out, and the rest should just slide out. There we go. So that's how it interfaces with the output shaft. When you put this one back, you need to make sure that that's a nice polished surface where my pinky is here. So like we polished them up all the way to the front. You can see where we've cleaned it there. Yeah, there you go. So that's how you take the flange off. And then I'm going to undo these bolts here and knock it out, and you'll see the seal on the back side. I am not going to film this because it requires more than one hand. Okie dokie, we're back. So I've taken all the nuts off, and we're just gonna should have loosened it enough. There we go. It also helps a lot if you are struggling with this. There are like little lock washers on them too, and sometimes they stay there. And then we pull that straight off. Woo, there we go. And there's our seal, which is rock hard. So yeah, knock that out, put the new one in, seal it all up, and Bob's your uncle. There you go.